Welcome back to the Math Success Seminar. I'm going to talk about LCM, which means the least common multiple. So what is a least common multiple? Well, this is another thing that it's just like how it sounds. It is the common multiple between two numbers that is the smallest, or the first common multiple between two numbers. So here I'm comparing 2 and 3. So I got multiples of 2. 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8. Here I have multiples of 3. 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, so forth. So what is the first number that these two multiples share? Well, we have a 6 here and a 6 here, so the LCM between these two is 6. So I'm going to put LCM for that one is 6. Now comparing two other numbers, 3 and 9, notice 9 is already a multiple of 3. So what is the least common multiple? This is very different from the greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor between these two is 3 because we know that 9 is a multiple of 3. But the least common multiple, having the multiples of 3 laid out, 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 1 is also 9, so your least common multiple is 9. I'm going to show it in the context of, well, actually, not yet. I'll save that. So let's compare other numbers. How about, let's find the least common multiple between 5 and 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what is 5 times 1? 5. 5 times 2 is 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. How about 7 times 1? 7. 14, 21, 28, 35. So actually I can kind of stop here because we already reached it. 35 and 35 are the first multiples that 5 and 7 share. So 5 can become 35, 7 can become 35 also. So your LCM is 35. So this is one way to find your least common multiple. It's by using kind of a multiplication table like this, and being familiar with your multiplication tables can really help you out here and speed the process up. But there is a way to do it where we're going to use prime factors. And this way might be very beneficial when you have large numbers. Let me think of an example that won't explode in my face. So let's find the LCM between, let's say, 12 and 15. So we could write out all the multiples of 12, all the multiples of 15, but that could become very lengthy, and we don't know when exactly we're going to hit the LCM. So instead, let's factor 12 into its prime components. 12 is 4 times 3, 3 is prime. 4 is 2 times 2, 2 and 2 are both prime. So I'm going to write this on the side here. 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. Let's break 15 into its prime components. Well, that's easy. It's 3 and 5. And that's it, because 3 is prime, 5 is prime. So 15 is 3 times 5. Now that I've factored this, let me just get this out of the way. If you're doing this on paper, you might want to just write the factors down below so you can compare them. So out of these factors, what is the greatest common factor? Well, greatest common factor is the thing that they both share. They only have a 3 in common. So when you're finding the least common multiple, we're only going to list that 3 once because it's shared between the two, so we don't need to write it twice. But now we want to write down all of the factors that are uncommon. So uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. So I'm going to have 2 times 2 times 5. Now this, once we multiply this out, this will tell us what the LCM is. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 5 is 60. So we could have written the multiples of 12 out. We could have written the multiples of 15 out. And eventually we would find that the multiple that they both share, the first multiple they both share, is 60. But by using prime factors, I believe it's a lot quicker and a lot easier, especially when you're dealing with numbers like over 10. If both of your numbers are over 10, it's easier to just factor them into prime components and then compare. So again, just to show, cover that up. 3 is the greatest common factor that I'm going to put in red right here. Red, red, meaning you only list it once. So here I'm only listing it once because it's shared between the two. But then you want to write out all the ones that it doesn't share. Doesn't share 2, doesn't share another 2, doesn't share 5. So you write that out, multiply that, and you'll find your lowest or least common multiple. And going on into fractions, this skill is going to become very important, but I will show you why next time. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you later.